Will you drink to the earth and to the days which have passed upon it? Will you drink to the fullness which was and to friends who have passed on? Will you drink to good company well met?
Freedom to do what you want with your body.
I had to read what he said. This is a couple of weeks ago. He was, or maybe this is September, but he was talking about people who are not vaccinated. He said they don't believe in science. They're often misogynistic, often racist. No, they're not.
That was not smart of him at all.
Right. He said, but they take up space. And with that, we have to make a choice in terms of a leader as a country. Do we tolerate these people? It's like, tolerate these. Now you do sound like Hitler.
That was...
And recently he talked about them holding unacceptable views.
Wow. I'm surprised to hear that Trudeau said those things.
You didn't see the blackface? I mean, he's no, I'm kidding about that. I'm not, I mean, that was not a good look for him.
No, that's bad.
But, I mean, come on. I mean, that's, I think, what gets under people's skin.
Many of us are frustrated with the nearly 80 million Americans who are still not vaccinated, even though the vaccine is safe, effective, and free. You might be confused about what is true and what is false about COVID-19.
The virus does not infect them. The virus cannot then use that person to go anywhere else. It cannot use a vaccinated person as a host to go get more people.
So before I outline the new steps to fight COVID-19 that I'm going to be announcing tonight, let me give you some clear information about where we stand. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Meanwhile, you have science is coming out. There's legitimate articles. Jamie, I'll send this to you now. There's one important quote. Vaccines that keep the host alive but still allow transmission can thus allow virulent strains to circulate in a population. So vaccines that don't kill the virus, vaccines that allow people, like this is one of the things we're finding out about what they're calling breakthrough cases.
Right.
So people who are vaccinated can still get COVID and they can still transmit COVID.
I'm announcing tonight a new plan to require more Americans to be vaccinated to combat those blocking public health.
And it's the unvaccinated people who it's going to make sick. And we really just cannot afford for you to have to go to the hospital right now.
Det är väl inte pengar det gäller? Vad gäller det då? Ja, vad det gäller ju allting. Det gäller ju alltihop. Vadå alltihopa? Alltihopa, allting.
Ge det nu, Egon. Bara dumt.
And you don't have to get to revolutions and all these other crazy things that happen to be able to make change. So at least in that story, you know, over here or in Australia, we would literally just block the road. And you know because if you don't have truckers in any nation, especially in the Western nations, if you don't have truckers, you don't have an economy. You just don't.
Small fringe minority of people who
are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing do not represent the views of Canadians who have been there for each other, who know that following the science and stepping up to protect each other I want to take this opportunity to remind Canadians to please get vaccinated. Over the past few days, Canadians were shocked and frankly disgusted by the behavior displayed by some people protesting in our nation's capital. I want to be very clear. We are not intimidated by those who hurl insults and abuse at small business workers and steal food from the homeless. We won't give in to those who fly racist flags. We won't cave to those who engage in vandalism or dishonor the memory of our veterans. La statue de Terry Fox est la tombe du soldat inconnu.
Outrage indeed, but any word from the organizers at all, Mayor? I mean, is this likely to spill into tomorrow? What are security teams telling you?
There is no place in our country for threats, violence, or hatred. Be courageous and speak out. Do not stand for or with intolerance and hate.
But they take up space. And with that, we have to make a choice in terms of a leader as a country. Do we tolerate these people? It's like, tolerate these. Now you do sound like Hitler.
Our city is under siege. They are terrorizing our residents, torturing them with incessant honking. This group is a threat to our democracy. This is a nationwide insurrection. This is madness.
Can you explain the reason why you won't participate or meet with them? I mean, you've attended rallies on the Hill in the past, including during a Black Lives Matter protest and others. Is there a reason that you can give as for why you will not discuss or have any negotiations with this particular group?
I have attended protests and rallies in the past when I agreed with the goals, when I supported the people expressing their concerns and their issues. Black Lives Matter is an excellent example of that. But I have also chosen to not go anywhere near protests that have expressed hateful rhetoric, violence towards fellow citizens.
We went after the funding. Our efforts combined with the city's efforts eliminated the GoFundMe. $10 million are no longer accessible to the demonstrators. There are other funding avenues that we continue to aggressively go after through intelligence, information, coordination with financial institutions, and all three levels of government. We will be relentless in pursuing the funding that has enabled this demonstration to continue to this point. We're going after the fuel. We're going after any vehicle conveyance, including horseback, people carrying jerry cans. We are arresting and seizing, and we are interdicting fuel going into the demonstrations.
So, in fact, yes, they are taking fuel right away from people as they attempt to fuel their vehicles.
Every time we knock something down, there are attempts for it to pop up in 4 or 5 other locations.
President Biden and I both agree that for the security of people and the economy, these blockades cannot continue.
Vilka kom överens? Ja, det var vägförvaltningen och mjölkcentralen. Frågar de oss? Nej.
Bara för att de inte frågar dig. Det är att vara fåfäng, Lundin.
Om de inte frågar oss om en sån skitsak som en mjölkpall. Då kommer de inte ens att fråga oss när de skär ballarna av oss. Sen man är ingen stut. Eliasson.